Hello guys and welcome back to Aquatic Life and Theme Parks. In today's video we are here at the Legoland Windsor Resort, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you all of the ride availabilities for Brick Week, their event in the February half term, and also any general updates before the main season starts in a few weeks time. So come and join me for an amazing day here at Legoland Windsor Resort. So the first sort of update here at the park is that the monorail ride, the Sky Rider that was here last year, has been taken down now, challenge, and obviously it ran all the way around this area, all the way up to the Miniland. Now we did get on Merlin's challenge earlier and did see the ride vehicles just parked up at the back, sort of where like backstage areas and back of house areas are, but they still do have the station, no theming, and obviously they filled in all where the supports went. So obviously, hopefully they'll be replacing this ride with something to go a little bit more around in this area. If not, it might open up more space in this area. But come and join us as we are going to be walking around a bit of Miniland. So here we are now in Miniland, and obviously in London. And of course, you can just see Big Ben and some of the most popular London landmarks as well. But as second update, obviously these are just facts, but obviously there's just some buildings. So could this be like a new building? So if you can see, I will zoom in properly, but it says 30 St Mary's Axe. Now obviously, is this going to be where St Mary's, known for the Gherkin building? Obviously that's been taken down. There is really no sort of Gherkin building or the 30 St Mary's Axe. So could that be going there? Could they just be repairing it? And then obviously the Lloyd's building is also here, and that's not here at the moment. But come and join us as we do go around the park even more and get on a few of our favourite rides. So here we are just entering the Magical Forest. Now this is our first ride and attraction. And this obviously came in either last year or the year before that. Now obviously you just start by walking through the tunnel, which has just got a bunch of LED lights, which has a very good soundtrack. And then you come out sort of in this where Mythica is, obviously bits and bobs there. And there's all the kind of buttons that you can press and it will activate a sort of free show. So this button here, I'm just gonna, and then it happens there. And then Bits and Bobs comes alive, who is obviously the main character in Flight of the Sky Lion. And then we are going to head under this like sort of canopy. I'm going to have to duck because I am very tall. And then obviously you enter through like this plant, like this mythical plant, and then obviously over here is where all the mythical creatures that you'll see in the actual ride itself happen. So you see obviously the flower horn, which are obviously rhinos covered in flowers, snails, bugs. And this is just a really good general experience just to get capacity through, making sure that those queues are down. I'll be talking more about capacity a little bit later on this video, but I do have some sad news. Fly trap is all up there. Obviously we have this amazing sort of area, this sort of walk through. Obviously another button here, so I'll just press this. And then obviously this massive like sort of fire and smoke area. You can just see how much smoke is pumping out there. Obviously we've got like these fire and water crabs. And obviously this is sort of towards the end of the show here, or sort of the end of the experience of Flight of the Sky Lion, which hopefully we'll be able to get on really later on. Queues today though, changing a bit of a subject while we continue walking around. Obviously queues are quite high today. The car park is pretty much packed. And obviously we enter through here, around into like this sort of screen base where you can see obviously the dragon that is usually at the end of the attraction when you ride the attraction. And then you're just coming out of here. So I'm going to be giving you a review now on this attraction and obviously telling you if it was good or not. So you've just seen there the full POV walkthrough of me walking through the Magical Forest. Now that is a really good attraction, a really good walkthrough, and it really kind of adds to this attraction. You sort of go on into the Fly of the Sky Lion, and then onto the other different rides that are part of the storyline, and then you're sort of walking through there, and it's called kind of describing all of the creatures. I think there's QR codes in that you can scan on your phone. Obviously I didn't do that, There are buttons in there, but there are also QR codes. Looking at a capacity point of view though, it does look alright. It was really quiet in there, but for the peak days it's probably really busy. So we are going to be going around the park even more and getting a few more park updates. So we are now in front of the Deep Sea Adventure ride that was closed all last year for 2024, and it's back open in 2025 for the Brick Week. Now it's only been open for a few weeks, so I think there has been some refurbishments. Luckily I think I can take you on this ride, so you'll be seeing all the refurbishments in this POV coming up right now.
With research, for your information, due to the welfare of the sea life, plasticography is prohibited throughout the Atlantic facility, including within the submarine. Thank you for your cooperation.
So you have just seen a POV there from Deep Sea Adventure. Now that ride was very short. It was shut all last year. Must have been because they're shortening the scenes. There was only one scene in that whole ride there, and it was just really short. It was longer and more dragged on a bit more in before, and that's better. This time it's really short. All the fish are kind of packed into one, and of course it was very long last year and the year before that, but now it's just gotten really short. Another thing that they need to improve on is sound. There was no TV, no sound playing, and then literally before you know it, you'd be back at the surface of the water where they would open the shutters or like the doors, and then obviously you will be exiting the ride and then go into a mini aquarium. That was really, really poor. It's been painted up really nice. Just make the scenes a bit more longer, a bit more like thrilling, and a bit more of a storyline to it. But apart from that, it was a good ride, and I'll be seeing you in our next ride, and more park updates will be on its way very soon. So on to our next update now, and it is the entertainment here at the park and in most Merlin parks. A few weeks ago, Legoland Florida in Florida did sack off their entertainment team. Obviously we thought that we weren't going to be affected, but we have. Merlin Entertainment has sacked, or majority of the entertainment team at all the parks nearly, especially the one at Legoland here, has been sacked, and the show for the Pirates of Skeleton Bay and the puppet show is not on anymore. It's not running. So this lighthouse is just sitting here pretty much doing nothing. Hopefully there'll be entertainment with the new CEO and Fiona Eastwood, but this is really sad obviously for the park, because entertainment holds the park capacity. People go and watch the shows, the queues go down, but what I've noticed today, without that entertainment, the queues are skyrocketing. So on to our next update, which is the Legoland Express. So now heading down here on the Legoland Express, there are some new scenes being added for 2025, and when the main season started, there will be all the new scenes will be there. I think there's about 5 or 6 scenes, maybe even 7 new scenes, and there are just like little bits of paperwork, like down there. There is some paperwork. I can't really read it, but then if we go across the bridge in a moment, we'll be able to see the workers putting up the minifigures. They're still covered up in those tarps there, but we'll be able to see a bit at work. So here we are. They are just obviously working on the whatever scene they're working on. Obviously you can just see some like grey towels. That's just going to protect the minifigures from the rain. If I'm remembering what I read earlier, is that there is like a monkey scene, there's a lion as well. Maybe this is where the lions are going to sit and obviously sleep. So we'll be bringing up on the first update of the park, and obviously this is a major expansion, a major money spender, because those minifigures did look really old. To get new ones and painting them up, it's going to look really nice. But we are going to be heading to our other ride, which should be Coast Guard HQ. So we have just gotten off Coast Guard HQ. That is an amazing little boat ride for the family. Obviously we were allowed on it, not allowed to film on it, but it's an amazing ride with some of the animatronics around. Obviously you've got the fisherman boats that's just behind me right now. don't know if you can just see, but just there, and that goes up every once in a while. The polar bear, and obviously, just in all generalness, you control your own boat while going round. It's really great that Legoland trusts its people to ride their own ride and control their own ride. So we are going to do our last ride of the day today, and that is the Dragon. So there we go, the end of our day here at Legoland Windsor Resort for their Brick Week. Now, an amazing event of what I've seen. Most of the rides are open. Some of the rides are maintenance and in maintenance, so they're winter maintenance, like Minifigure Speedway. But ride availability has been really smooth today. Only a few downtimes, but obviously that is expected in an operational theme park. Obviously the last ride we done was Dragon, and then we also got on Flight of the Skyline, which is an amazing dark ride here at the park, and I'm glad they made investments back in 2022 to open that ride. But the downfall of that is that Deep Sea Adventure, my only thing that's the problem is Deep Sea Adventure, they spent all that money last year on refurbing it, refreshing it, and it's just got one scene. It's very, very short, and it was very longer last year, so I don't think they needed to shut the ride for 2024. So that is it from the Legoland Windsor Resort. Stay aquatic everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.